Hi guys. All right, Unit 3, Lesson 3, solve equations with adjacent angles. So for this one, I'm just going to go straight into the examples. Please read through the lesson itself, but we already learned about adjacent angles in the last lesson. This is just applying that information in a different way, okay? So kind of we're expanding on that, I should say. So number 1, two adjacent angles are inside a 90-degree angle. One angle has a measure of x plus 4 degrees, and the other angle has a measure of 3x plus 2 degrees. What is x? Now, I would say my biggest piece of advice for this lesson is make sure you know what they're asking for. In this particular case, they're only looking for what x is equal to. Sometimes, and we'll get to them, it's also going to say what are the actual degree measures, and then you'd have to do an extra step. So just be careful with that, okay? All right, with this, so what is x? Well, we know that both of these combined, and in math, like combining things is like adding, right? So we should be able to add those together, right, to equal 90. So I'm going to do that. X plus 4 plus 3x plus 2 equals 90. Now we could put parentheses around those, but in this, in this case it's not really necessary, okay, especially since everything is positive. And then we can go ahead next and combine like terms. So notice first we have some x's, right? We have 1x plus 3x. When I combine those, that gives me 4x. And then I've got 4 plus 2. And remember, you have to pay attention to the sign that's in front of it. That's the sign that's attached. So this is a positive 4 plus a positive 2, which gives me 6. I might run out of room. I better be careful. Okay, so now, ooh, look at that. That's like a nice, pretty, just two-step equation. We know how to do that. So we can subtract 6 from both sides. That gives us 4x equals, let's see, that would be 84. And then divide both sides by 4. That cancels. So then we're left with x is equal to, and then let's see, 84 divided by 4. You could use your calculator if you want, but 4 divided by 4 I know is equal to 1. And then 80 divided by 4 is 20. So that will give me 21. So in this particular case, x is 21. Now let's say you're not really sure about your answer. You're kind of like, I don't know, was I correct? Well, plug it back in. If we add 21 to 4, that gives us 25. And then let's see, 3 times 21 would give us 63 plus 2 is 65. 25 plus 65 is 90. So that would be a way that you could check your work as well, is like, do they actually add up to 90? And then you can see. Number 2, two adjacent angles form a resulting angle with measure 160 degrees. The measure of angle 1 is 3x degrees, and the measure of angle 2 is 2x plus 10 degrees. Solve for x. What are the two unknown angle measures? So this is what I was talking about. And really that's what we just did here to get the 25 and 65. So we've already practiced this. Okay, so we've got two angles. We've got one that's equal to 3x, and then we're adding that to one that has 2x plus 10, and all of that combined equals 160. Once again, we're going to combine like terms. We've got 3x plus 2x, that gives us 5x plus 10. Okay, there's nothing to combine with this one, so now we can just solve. I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. That's going to cancel over here. I'm left with 5x equals 150. Divide both sides by 5. They'll cancel on the left, giving us x. And then 150 divided by 5, that's going to give us 30. Okay, Make sure to check your work along the way if you're hesitant. But this is not my final answer. The final question said, what are the two unknown angle measures? So that means we have to take 3x and 2x plus 10 and plug this 30 degrees, I'm sorry, not degrees, but just this value of 30 back into those to get the degrees. So in this case, we'd have 3 times 30. Over here, we have 2 times 30 plus 10. Well, 3 times 30 is 90, so there's one of them. And then 2 times 30 is 60, plus 10 is 70. Okay? Sometimes it'll also ask you to write them like in order from least to greatest and stuff like that. In that case, if you're entering them into a box, you'd put 70 first and then 90. But again, check it. 90 plus 70, do those add up to 160? They do, so we know that we're good to go. Okay, one more problem. This is number 1 from your quick check. Two adjacent angles are a straight line. One angle has a measure of 5x minus 28, and the other has a measure of 8x degrees. What is the measure of the second angle? Okay? So there's several things going on here. First off, two adjacent angles. Cool. We know that those share a side, right? But they are, when they're smushed together, they create a straight line. Well, a straight line, that's like that, right? That's a half circle. Or, hopefully, we know that that is equal to 180 degrees. So knowing that, then that's what we're going to set both of those equal to. We're going to add them together. We've got 5x minus 28 plus 8x. Those added together give us 180. Okay? So that's the first step, is we need to figure out, okay, well, what is x equal to? Because then we can take that x and we can plug it back in, because it says what is the measure of the second angle. So really we're looking for like, what is that one equal to? Okay, you could even star it to say like, hey, heads up, that's our final answer. All right, combining like terms, we've got 5x plus 8x. That equals 13x. All right, my brain stopped for a second there. And then we have this negative 28 or minus 28 equals 180. Okay, so with this one, I'm going to, right now I'm subtracting 28, so to get rid of that, I need to add 28. You gotta do the opposite operation, or the inverse operation, right? Negative 28 plus 28, that gets us to 0, so those cancel. We're left with 13x equals 208. Right now I'm multiplying by 13. To get rid of it, I'm going to divide by 13. Those will cancel. We're left with x, and my brain is moving real slow today, guys. Do you ever have days like that? Today's mine. Okay, but with this, let's see here. We're going to do 208 divided by 13, which gives us 16. So x is equal to 16, but that is not, goodness, I'm so sorry. That is not our final answer. Remember, we needed to take that 16 and plug it back into this for our second angle. So what we need is 8 times 16. Well, we could do it in our calculator, or we could think to ourselves, well, 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 10 is 80. Add those together, you get 128. So that second angle would be equal to 128 degrees. Okay? So several steps, just make sure that you understand what's my final thing that I'm looking for right now. Okay? Hang in there, and then as always, if you need any extra support, just let me know.